There is a former prison in the state where I live. It was a maximum security prison, though it was called a state reformatory, and it held the very worst sorts: rapists, arsonists, murderers, people who belonged behind bars. It was opened in 1896 and closed in 1990, after containing 155,000 prisoners. It's still an impressive building. 4 movies used it as a location, including The Shawshank Redemption. And the ominous 6-tiered East Wing remains the largest freestanding cell block in the world. The building is now owned by the Reformatory Preservation Society, and they open it up 26 times a year. About 100 people arrive for each tour, paying $70 per person. They come to see the physical structure, to get a feel for a maximum security pen, the joint, the big house, and they come to see ghosts. The reformatory is well known as a so-called paranormal hotspot. No question that the massive structure is spooky, given its dark purpose and desolate condition, especially at night. If ghosts do exist, they might well be found in such a forbidding, cheerless place. I think a ghost is a spirit of a person that was somehow, for some reason, unable to complete the transition to the other side. They are stuck in a purgatory of sorts. Often, so the story goes, it's because they were brutally murdered. So you can see how they make the leap from victim to killer, and then you have thousands of them pent up in this awful place, their souls uneasy, locked up, possibly for all time. Because they are imprisoned in a way, most of the ghosts that I have heard about are not happy beings. They tend to range from restless to the truly angry, hostile creatures, and you interact with them at your own peril. If there are ghosts at this prison site, I would not want to confront them. There could well be yet another movie at this location about people who voluntarily seek the ghosts and, most unfortunately, find them. I don't believe in ghosts, but I don't entirely discount them either. And while I don't put much stock in ghosts or in making contact with the dead, I do emphatically believe that the world is haunted. And that closed maximum security prison would be an impressive monument to that. We are haunted because we live in time, and what they sometimes refer to as the fourth dimension. We are haunted by the past, and we are haunted by the future. We occupy or exist in one instant that is constantly changing. We don't fully understand this, but we are aware of it. We don't think we are moving in time, just as we don't think we are hurtling through space on our tiny chip of matter, even though we surround ourselves with indicators. But we are, and we do know it. We come to know it, along with all of the things all of the times we are not living in, since we only live in the tiniest possible fraction of it, which we call the present, which, because it is constantly moving, has almost no existence or dimension of its own. But the fact of time, those huge blocks, the past and the future, this haunts us, and that increases, I think, as we age. I think that it is almost possible to become like a ghost even before you die. The body is like a prison, or a reformatory, if you will. At a certain point, we may feel less like the prized, placid occupant of that flesh and blood, and more like a being trapped inside it, a notion Poe would conjure. You don't feel exactly like yourself anymore, and you live less and less in that mystery of the ever-present moment, and more in the dark and twisted shadows of the past and the unknown landscape of the future. If you are someone who is looking for ghosts, my advice to you would be to be patient. You don't have to go looking. It will come to you.